What the fuck is up, Juggalo Scotty?
Radio.
What the fuck is up, Juggalo Scotty? Two Balls. Sorry for the mix-up on the times. Had some minor technical issues we went through earlier, but we are Carnival Spirits podcast. We are going live with Kung Fu Vampire tonight. He is going to be joining us shortly. Of course you've heard of Kung Fu Vampire. Who fucking hasn't? I mean, he's played numerous tours with Twisted. He's done fucking Hallow Wicked with the Insane Clown Posse. He's going to be joining the podcast any minute now. He's got a long fucking history with just music in general. You know, coming out of San Jose, California. This motherfucker, he's on Mad Insanity Records with Mars. And, dude has been in the rap game for a long time. If you remember, if you follow my YouTube account, you know I made a video about Kung Fu Vampire and the Juggalos quite a while back, because I've been following Kung Fu Vampire for quite a while now, and I'm a big fan. Fucking love what he does, love the love that he has for us Juggalos, you know what I'm saying? And they just came out with Love Bites, October 31st of last year, Halloween, and the album is incredible front to back. If you haven't heard it yet, fucking go listen to it. Look him up on YouTube, Kung Fu Vampire. He's got a song on there called Bread for Blood, and it's with Brother Jay of the X-Clan. And we got a caller right now, 575. Who's this?
What's up, man? It's Panic.
Panic, what's going on, man? You were waiting in to talk to Kung Fu or what?
Yeah.
So once he does call in, I'm going to put your ass on mute. No, I'll let you ask him whatever you want to ask him. No, we got some shit to talk about.
Yeah.
So what's your experience with the Kung Fu Vampire?
Actually, I heard about him just like looking on YouTube and shit. Or maybe it was somewhere else. I can't really remember exactly, but all I remember is the name is what threw me off. Kung Fu Vampire. Who would come up with that, dude? That's fucking crazy shit.
Exactly, and I'm hoping he can explain that to some people. I mean, I know what it is. I know what it's from. Hopefully he can school some people on where he came up with the name, Kung Fu Vampire.
That sounds like an old school movie or something, but who knows?
Well, it may be. I spill no beans. Oh, shit, hold on. Have you seen him live yet?
No. I don't know too much about him. I've seen like a few videos.
He has some free songs for download. There's 4 of them. Or there was. I'm not sure if they're still up there or not. But it was the new version of I Count. And
yeah, I watched that the other night.
Dead Girls Don't Say No. And It's Too Late to Pray. And a new song that's off of Love Bites, actually. It's a funky fucking club mix. And it's a fucking dope song. I love it. I've been talking to Kung Fu. We had some technical difficulties earlier. He'll be calling in here shortly. You know, dude's a busy motherfucker, so... First time I ever saw Kung Fu Vampire was on the Slaughterhouse tour with Twisted. And I'm not even going to front. I don't even remember who else was on the tour because he stuck out that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, dude can hold his own at a concert. Recently, he went out on tour with Potluck, the Underground Rebels tour. They went out with DRP, and he's like, I don't care if there's 10 of you motherfuckers or if there's 1,000 of you guys. I'm still going to give you a fucking show.
That's one thing that I've noticed because I watched his interview with Big Ian, and a lot of the videos, you can just tell right off the bat, this dude's down to earth. Any popularity he's gotten hasn't got to his head at all yet.
Right. Dude, he's been around a long time. He's played the fucking Playboy Mansion.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty dope.
www.kungfuvampire.com. He should have those 4 tracks that are available for free right now. You know, it's a quick, easy way to get a little Kung Fu Vampire fix, you know what I'm saying? He has videos up on YouTube. Have you seen that video for Grindr?
Yeah, that's
Grinder
one of
is
the first ones that I came across.
Right. I mean, he's open for fucking Twisted, Two Life Crew, The Alcoholics, Digital Underground, Cool Keith, KRS-One, Papa Roach, The Far Side.
Oh, damn.
You know, he's collaborated with Eddie Gale, Spice One.
Dude, yes, that's what I was going to ask him about.
What's that?
I was going to ask him about him and Spice One, because Spice One's one of my favorite rappers.
Right on. Well, I'll let you ask him when he calls in.
I'm still trying to get up on my Spice One collection. I got a 1996 and 187 he wrote. Trying to get more. Oh, and then I got Thug Reunion, but I didn't really like that one.
Yeah, Spice One. He's fucking classic. You know, I know Kung Fu Vampire has mad respect for fucking juggalos, and it's weird how juggalos kind of find rappers, and rappers are like, what are juggalos, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know about it. You know, I'm saying like Tech 9, when Tech 9 first came on the scene, and like Legacy, I'm talking to Legacy a lot right now. Juggalos are kind of flocking to her right now. And Kung Fu Vampire didn't know what juggalos were when people first started approaching him, you know?
That's crazy.
And now they're like immersed in this world of us crazy motherfuckers.
What the hell did I do?
Right. I mean, it's cool, but it's weird. It's got to be weird.
I don't really want to place him in, you know, horrorcore. I don't want to put him, but let's just say in the underground. You know, it's hard to be original, and he got something original, I think.
Yeah, he does. He's
found a way to make it work.
I know he has a name for what he does: gothic hip hop or gothic hop or gothic techno hop. I don't know. Hold on.
Yo.
What's up, man?
Chillin'.
Kung Fu Vampire up in the motherfucking house.
It's just the beginning. Baby.
Awesome to have you on here. Thank you so much for being a part of our podcast tonight.
Yeah, man, me and you bullshitting and talking and interviewing is long overdue, you know?
You know me from my fucking Kung Fu Vampire and the Juggalos video, from chilling at the potluck show over in Wichita, where it was like fucking small-ass venue and everything.
Yeah, you know? Oh, man, the promoter was crying, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. But, man, the potluck tour sure was a good one, man, and for anybody who did come out and see us.
Like I was saying, no matter how small the show is, you just fucking tear it up. And I appreciate that, like, completely. And a lot of people do. You know, you give it your all on the stage.
I wish more people knew about what I do. I mean, obviously I have a fan base and people know about it, but what I do is so different, man, and I'm not part of any of the corporate claim to be independent powerhouses, but
right.
I don't get that easy love, you know? There's, you know, big labels like Strange Music and, I mean, Funk Volume, Cottonmouth. It doesn't matter who you are or your skill ability. If you sign to those labels, you instantly have a ton of people who will just hear you, listen to you, buy your stuff, and give you a chance, and you get to skip steps. I mean, it doesn't mean that everybody does, but when you're someone like me, you had to earn it crawling uphill the whole time, and I don't get an automatic audience, you know what I mean?
Right, dude. Right, I hear you. I've been reading up a lot on your history. Well, I know a lot of it already, but for the people out there that don't know, why don't you give me a brief history of Kung Fu Vampire?
Wow, man, it's I don't know how to put it brief, but I will try and summarize.
I know it's hard to do it brief, but people don't like to read nowadays.
Yeah, I know, you suckers. 1991, I picked up a microphone and made my first rap song with some dudes from my neighborhood. And what we were doing was, you know, gangster rap, West Coast influenced stuff, because that's where we're from, mixed with influences from industrial music and heavy metal. And even though we weren't doing heavy metal, we were more into the trip-hop, electronica. We were one of the first people to ever put hip-hop lyrics to anything electronic, any kind of electronica, you know, trip-hop beats. We started doing that in 91. And in 99, 2000, the name Kung Fu Vampire stuck because of the decade of hip-hop that I just constantly gravitated towards, the darker side of it, and always make darker beats, and there's just a million reasons why that name came about. But basically, Kung Fu Vampire, I became that character in full in the year 2000, and since then I've been going super strong. In where I'm from, San Jose, California, the Silicon Valley, we've won, I think, 5 times in the last 6 years, the best hip-hop or live band in this area, in the Bay Area. And in 2006, I played at the Playboy Mansion. And 2000.
Right. How did that come about? How did you get invited to do that? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, basically, man, one of my good friends is the inventor of the Little Minx stripper pole. He owns stripperpole.com, and he was the first one to actually bring stripper poles to a public market, where you could travel with them.
Wow.
He had a huge party there, and for one of his birthdays, and had invited me and Kung Fu Vampire, us as a band, to play.
Right.
Now, the odd thing is that I actually had been there 6 months, 8 months prior to that for a party, and then a year and a half prior to that for another party because of him. So it was a pretty huge check mark on a big bucket list. For most people, that would be a huge bucket list. So I've actually been to the Playboy Mansion 3 times, and so it was a cool experience, man. It was a cool experience. So that's how I ended up there, and yeah, it was everything you would imagine, and it was great. Free lobster, free crab, playmates serving drinks, all free drinks in the pool, anything I want. Could be high-end, it doesn't matter. So basically from 2001 to 2009, well, we could say 91 to 2009, but as Kung Fu Vampire from 2001 to 2009, I had done tons of shows up and down California, Hollywood, my hometown, started selling out shows in my hometown, and just working really hard to get to that. But in 2009, I hit the road with Isham and Mastermind of Nodis, for those heads out there who know who they are. That kind of started a spiral, as well as my sound, my look, and my music video all kind of coming together around that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that tour, and then immediately Mars had called me, and he had jumped on a couple of the dates with us and was, really intrigued in what I was doing. Was like, damn, bro, he's like, you are just doing your own version of the wicked shit, of juggalo music, of horrorcore music. He's like, it's crazy. I've never seen anybody so, he basically said, it's crazy to see an organic, a natural person doing the same style music all the way across the country from where that kind of music started, which is Detroit. Detroit, Milwaukee. I always say Milwaukee because I love giving them love because they love horrorcore out there. But, the wicked shit started in Detroit, technically, like on some, they named it, that, or, kind of, they claim to be the first ones to do it, which I kind of like to give them the credit for doing that. So he saw it and said, man, I can't believe what you're doing. These people are going to love what you're doing. And I was like, well, this is what I do. I wasn't influenced by any of that kind of music. I wasn't an ICP fan. I had heard it, and I had never heard Twisted. And I was a little turned off by Twisted because I didn't know, I was so distant because I'm out on the West Coast. So nobody said, hey, check them out. So I never gave them a chance. I just said, oh, that's some group that ICP put together. They can't be that great if some other group developed them, which I was wrong. That's not the case. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll get into that more. But so Mars was all about it, and he said, hey, well, how about you go on another tour, me and you and Axe Murder Boys and Project Morn. So we ended up going out on that tour, and Axe Murder Boys wasn't able to do it for some reason or another. So us 3 went out. We rocked another national tour there, and just a few months later. At that time, I had just got done filming my video for iCount right before that tour. This is 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody who felt the same way as Mars saw the iCount video and said, wow, the Juggalos are going to love this, and sent it into FagoLovers.net.
Yep.
And they posted it up one day on there, and apparently Twisted saw the video, said, who here in the office at Psychopathic knows how to get a hold of these guys? They're the shit. I want to talk to this guy. And they called my house and said, hey, will you go on tour with us in February 2010? And I said, yep. And that's how I got introduced to Twisted. I had actually never heard any of their music. And so they called me at my house at 8 in the morning.
Wow.
Detroit was probably 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, so they thought it was okay. So they called me at 8 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
And I'm like, how'd you guys get my house number? You know, and they got it from somebody there at the office. But nonetheless, so that's my history scrunched into a summary. And there's so much more, so much strife and struggle, and so much has happened since February 2010, so exactly 3 years. I've done so much in these 3 years, and so much has happened. It's nuts.
I know, dude. That's just the beginning of your story with being introduced to Juggalos right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And, you know, I a lot of videos pop up on there, or especially the old format, how they had it, stuff would pop up. And, you know, a lot of people don't put the time, energy, and uniqueness into what they do. And me personally, just the kind of person I am, I don't really feel the iCount video. I think it's crap. But apparently people like it, and I did put a lot into it, and I do put my heart into everything I do. But to me, I'm always thinking everything I do can be better. So the fact that it got on there and it caught multiple people's attention was cool.
I mean, tell you, it was the sexy girls on there and the music is what got me. All right.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you know people don't realize it, but we added a little drum and bass in our music. That's what that chorus was. The I count. The chorus is do, you know, it's that double time.
Right. Yeah.
Still, people never really caught on to that. It ended up not taking off too much here, as opposed to Europe, and then dubstep ended up taking off more.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole other story we can talk about, my relationship to that, and how I shied away. I had a whole album ready of stuff like that, starting with Grindr, who you guys have all heard Grindr.
I messaged you once about Grindr in the American Horror Story theme. Do you remember that?
No. What?
I tweeted you about that. The American Horror Story theme, that TV show.
TV show, right? Yeah.
Yeah. How the theme reminded me of Grindr.
That's right. No, now I remember. All you had to do was say that.
A little piece in there just reminded me of that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. That song, if you guys notice, is like, it's dubstep-ish, but it's unique. It's not the typical...
Yeah.
It's not a typical dubstep beat. Well, around that time and a little after that, I started seeing it trending a lot, and I basically scrapped that whole album of glitchy, dubsteppy, dark shit because I was irritated with the fact that so many people were doing it. They didn't copy me. It just kind of started trending right after. I was into it early, and the reason why I was into it early is because of where I lived. I'm from an area where that shit came from. It doesn't come from the Midwest. It comes from Europe and San Francisco and Los Angeles, and you know what I mean? So I was hearing it early. People in my neighborhood, people where I lived in the mountains here in Santa Cruz, they were making that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they made. That's what they spun. That's what they played. And so once I started hearing people doing it, and then, you know, I think even Tech kind of had one on all 6s and 7s, I was like, oh, man, no. I scrapped that whole idea. I thought I was doing it before everybody, and I kind of was. Grindr's 4 years old. But at the same time, doesn't matter how quick I come up with something, it's who does it on a bigger scale first. And I just kind of got irritated with it. I didn't like it, where the direction it had gone, so I just scrapped it. And I didn't use any of those beats.
Do you have any plans of releasing any videos off of Dead Sexy?
Or Love Bites?
God damn it, yes. I was just thinking of Grindr, god damn it. Yes.
No, well, Love Bites is kind of a part 2 to Dead Sexy.
Right,
so, I mean, the names are kind of in the same feel, I guess, you know. So people get them confused a little bit. But,
well, I was thinking of Grindr. I'm a little tipsy, so.
The end of this month, we're going to release the first video. It's less than 30 days. We're going to release the first video. Yeah.
You going to spill what it's for?
It's track 1, Love Bites.
Oh, awesome, dude.
It's not a fan favorite. I think a lot of people have said they like it, but in general, I know what the favorites are, but we're actually going to do a video for almost every song on the album.
Really? That's awesome, dude.
So that's the plan.
Are you planning on releasing a DVD or anything maybe later on?
We have so much footage, man, and every time I think about releasing a DVD, I say, you know what, let's do a couple more tours. Let's do a couple more. Let's go a couple more years.
I'm saying with your video, you got to throw your videos on there, dude.
Well, if I can get these 13 videos done in the next 12 months, which is my goal this year, that's 2013 to do 13 videos. I should press a DVD with all 13, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see what the difference.
You're going to be a busy man if you do that shit, man.
That's the plan.
Damn.
Man, there's some people who stay a lot busier than me, but, you know, I'm just trying to keep up with those guys that got the big money men behind them, you know what I'm saying? Not envious, not popping any shots, just don't have the same scenario as the Cottonmouth Kings and Tech Nine and, you know, people that have a label backing them. I don't have that.
Right.
It's funny when people talk shit once in a while online or something, and they say, oh, you know, oh, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. You know, it's like, do you realize that everything I do myself? Do you even realize that? Like,
exactly.
The stuff you're seeing from all these other people, they're not doing it. Someone's doing it for them. It could be anybody. Tyler, the Creator. These guys, man, they got teams behind them of people doing shit for them. Hobson doesn't do everything. He's got managers and teams, and these people have people doing stuff for them. So much love to them for that. But, you know, for those of you out there, the fans wondering why I don't do stuff faster, well, I'm pretty much a one-man army. We've got me, Mars, and a couple friends that pitch in once in a while, but that's it.
Right. How would you say your new tracks, like on Love Bites, differ from your old tracks, like, say, on Dead, Bath & Beyond?
Man, you are really drunk. You're mixing all my album titles. Did you say Dead, Bath & Beyond?
No, I said Blood, Bath & Beyond.
I don't think you did. We're going to rewind this later. When you're editing this, you're going to Dead, Bath & Beyond.
You fucking caught me, dude. You fucking caught me.
That's a great album title, bro. Dead, Bath & Beyond. They all come from a different place, man. Blood, Bath & Beyond is 10 years old. 11 years old. Wait a minute. Yeah, 11 years old. That music is from 2001 and 2. When I did that, it was meant to be it's so crazy. It was meant to kind of be a side project. It wasn't meant to be the main album. And I had a producer who's more East Coast influenced. So if you hear the album, the stuff that's not really horror, well, let me back up. Blood Bath Beyond is like half kind of Asian beats and half dark beats. But all of it is kind of backpack East Coast style hip-hop. That's the style of that album. And so lyrically, man, like, I don't think I was all there at that point because I was so focused on the project theme and the beats. I made a lot of the beats myself with my producer buddy. And so I didn't focus a lot on the lyrics, and I was focused on building the band and, you know, teaching the band music. And so my head was in so many places for Blood Bath Beyond and Dead Sexy. Both of those lyrics were the least important, which really sucks because a lot of people don't realize how much of a crazy beast I can be on the mic when they hear Dead Sexy or Bloodbath, because they don't realize at that same time I was recording those albums, I was producing the beats, I was teaching the band the music, I was rehearsing with the band, I was booking shows, you know what I mean? So to be able to sit down and focus solely on lyrics was just impossible. Now, what's changed with Love Bites from those two albums is Love Bites, I got to focus more on the lyrics. And I think it's pretty apparent when you hear the album that the lyrics are stepped up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's not full potential, and the reason why is because I was working with multiple producers on that record, all of them super awesome, but we weren't connecting on a long-term basis like I am with some of them now for the next stuff. So my dude Tuna Beats out of, I always say Ukraine, Croatia, it's one or the other. I always fucking forget. I feel like an idiot, but he's from Europe, and him and I are really coming together. My dude, Smart Alec, Subliminal Beats out of Kansas City, Missouri, him and I have really come together. He produced on that album. So the next shit is going to be super what you picture from Kung Fu Vampire, just fucking heavy and dark and just what it's supposed to be, and lyrics will be right there and on point, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
So yeah, that's the difference between those two records and this new one is I get to focus on lyrics now a little bit more because there's a system in place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of how I do things, and lyrics are most important.
Right on. I'm going to let my homie jump on here. He has a question real quick for you.
No.
He's he's been waiting for like 20 minutes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Panic, you still on here, bud?
What's up, dude?
Go ahead and ask your question, bud.
Hey, I'm pretty new to your music, but one song that tripped me out that I didn't see you, I guess you can say, collaborating with was Spice One, which is one of my favorite rappers. I just want to see how did that come about? You know what? Well, of course, you are from the same place, you know, Cali, but
we're from the same area too. We're from he lives probably 20 minutes from me, 15 minutes from me. The thing is, man, and I don't even know if my fans or like new listeners or people like yourself even understand one thing I consider myself that makes me different than Twisted, than Tech9, than all these people who have. They have their own flavors, and I mention those people because I love them. And I've grown to love them since I've been in the genre. Those are my people. But one thing that I feel is way different about me than a lot of people is how diverse I am. My flavors, my voices, I can do a lot of voices, different styles of singing, funk, gangster rap, backpack shit, dubstep, electronica, rock, all of it around hip-hop. But the Spice One thing, man, I mean, that's kind of the Bay shit, Cali shit's what I grew up on,
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't grow up on Spice One. He was somebody I kind of, growing up, I was always like, damn, that dude's sick, you know what I mean? But never really got resurrected. You bring up a trippy memory for me, actually. Hold on 2 seconds, hold on. Someone just texted me and said the interview cut off. What does that mean, Scotty?
No, it's still going, dude.
Okay. I was actually going to call Bloodbath Beyond. You guys are going to fucking trip on this. Between Bloodbath Beyond and Dead Sexy, I was going to come out with an album called Infecting the West. I'm going to trip you guys the fuck out. I never told anybody this shit. Nobody knows this shit. It was going to be called Infecting the West, and what it was going to be a comic-style graphics, the cover and shit. It was going to be about a Chinese vampire who re-rose from the dead in China. He rose from the dead in modern times and said, I want to make a fucking rap album. And he flew to California, to the Bay, and was going to get all the OG late 80s, early 90s rappers to collaborate on a project called Infecting the West. And it was going to be like Paris, Spice One, E40, Too Short, NWA. I was going to get a lot of these elements. Well, it came to things, and the reality is it never happened. And basically, I did songs with people like Spice and shit, and then ended up just putting that track on Dead Sexy. But
that's pretty fresh, dude.
With Spice is dope because somebody just called me and said, hey, Spice is here in town, man, you want to do a song with them? I said, yeah, bring him over. And he came over, we ended up cooking dinner and smoking weed and doing the song, and that was that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Expect the unexpected. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. Is I don't want to come out with some shit and have you be like, yeah, it sounds like Kung Fu. I want it to come out and have you be like, what the holy shit? He just killed me, And I feel like Love Bites is doing that to people. People have been hearing it, hit me up going, yo, bro, your shit is ridiculous. What the fuck? And I just need more people out there to, promote what I'm doing because I don't got that big budget, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to stay independent. I'm trying to stay truly without that big backing,
Right. Keep it independent. Do your own thing, definitely.
Real independent, not a multimillionaire funding me. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's different. It's just a different type of thing. Mine is I have to hustle. Whatever it is, I have to hustle. It could be guns. It could be. I'm just giving you examples. It could be weed. It could be guns. It could be my verses. However hard I want to hustle is how much money I have to put in my music. So when you hear my music, it's pure hustle. It's not. Well, somebody gave me some money to do it. No. I sold a vehicle, did 5 verses, and sold 50 pounds of weed to get it. And I'm giving you examples. I'm not trying to incriminate myself.
Right.
I don't like people who incriminate themselves. They're fucking stupid.
We know.
But, yeah, I mean.
Hey, speaking of, is your van still up for sale?
Yeah, it's a Suburban, man, and it's a great car. I hate to sell it, but it's time to keep it moving.
All right, dude. I'll post it up on our Spirits of the Dark Carnival page. We'll try to get some people interested. If I had enough money, dude, I'd buy that shit. Hell yeah.
Well, I ain't even selling it for that much.
I'm fucking broke, but
Yeah, man.
that shit's dope. Painted. I'll put it up tonight. Shit.
Oh, and by the way, for everybody at the gathering in 2013, I did sell my tour bus to my homies in Australia, some fans out there. They're flying out here in April. They're going to drive it all around the U.S. and then drive it to the gathering. So if you see that tour bus, I'm not on it. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
All right, I got one more question. We're about to be cut off in 2 minutes, so this is a 2-minute question, all right? And I want to go ahead and thank you in case this cuts off.
Well, it's all love,
for being on the show tonight. All love.
I got nothing but love for the Juggalos. It's my family, bro. I got it tattooed on me. I got a hatchet man. For those who don't know, I'm not even a Juggalo. I'm a Juggalo lover. I'm the biggest ally a Juggalo could ever have. I'm a supporter. I'm the guy who stand in front of a Juggalo and take a bullet. Like, these are my people, bro. You know what I mean? This is what I stand for. I love it. I'm all about the family, period.
You know, I made the video about it. I know where you stand there.
That's right. Okay, what's the question?
This may be a tough album. I don't know if you can do it in 2 minutes, but what is your favorite album of all time?
My favorite album? Oh, my God.
Any genre.
Dude, you know, what first thing that comes into mind, Alice in Chains, Dirt.
Great album, dude.
Yeah.
Dirt, fuck yeah.
Yep.
All right, this has been Scotty Two Balls and Kung Fu Vampire on Carnival Spirits.
Yes. You guys should follow me on Instagram. That's the best way to keep up with what I'm doing.
We will link up all your shit, dude. Wherever you're at, we will link it up. We got ninjas who do that. And
hell yeah.
Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, definitely stay in touch. And
respect to everybody. Respect and love. Peace.
Much fucking love, dude. Thanks a lot for doing this.
You got it.
Peace.